Hey guys, it's Scott from Horse Racing Daily, and we're going to go and take an early look at the 2022 Travers Stakes. And we're going to quickly go over the field, and then we're going to talk about the three horses I like so far. And you got Epicenter and Rich Strike, the 1-2 Derby finishers in the race. Rich Strike's probably the most, polarizing horse of it all. Is outside of Churchill, this horse doesn't really want anywhere else. And a lot of people think, because Rich Strike's a Derby winner, he belongs up there, with the rest. And certainly winning the Kentucky Derby does merit its own level of respect. Then you got people on the other hand who, don't think much of the horse. And to be honest, that's kind of where I fall. I think his win was, kind of luck. If you disagree, that's fine. But that's just my opinion on him. But either way, Rich Strike's being pointed to the race. It's going to be good for the sport to have, Rich Strike there. I want to see it. Everybody else, wants to see it. And you're going to have Epicenter too, the second place finisher. Can he turn the tables on Rich Strike this time? And then you got Zandin, who got second, the Jim Dandy to Epicenter. And, he's lost to this horse, at least twice already. Once in the Risen Star and then, in the Jim Dandy. So this horse would have to improve a little bit, but to turn the tables on Epicenter. And Nest, I don't think Nest is going to run. I think Nest is going to be pointed to the Grade 1 Alabama. Pletcher, kind of toyed with the idea of running the Travers, but I don't really get the opinion hearing him talk. It doesn't sound like it's strong, and I don't get that like he wants to point the horse to the Travers. I think it's just something to keep the, discussion open. So I'd be shocked to see this horse running the Travers, and if she does, I'll go back and throw her in some videos. If not, we'll just leave her out. And then you got the Grade 1 Haskell winner, Cyberknife. And then you got early voting who won the Preakness. And the Dwyer winner, Charge It. And also, he got second in the Florida Derby. And he looks like an improving 3-year-old at the right time. And then you got the Curlin winner, Artorias. And the Iowa Derby winner, 8 Life Grand. So as of right now, this is going to draw a very good field of horses in. You could even have, Taba enter. Of course, Baffert can't come. He might put Baffert back under, Tim Yaktine or something like that. So you could have a couple more horses entering this race. And that's going to take me to the three horses I like. And we're going to start with Epicenter. And I really hope Epicenter can get his Grade 1 win. So far he's a 2-time Grade 2 winner. Or, I'm sorry, 3-time Grade 2 winner. But, and there's always chances like in the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. He's had excuses for both the losses. But, nonetheless, they are losses. Like, if you want to be, the best of the best, you can't always have excuses for why you don't get first. At some point, you need to cross the wire and be first. That's kind of how I feel about it. You look at like a Flightline when he runs, you don't see Flightline running, second to nobody. He just looks the part. He looks like he's ready to, throw down with anybody. And, if you think of like horses like American Pharoah, I know that's kind of maybe a bad comparison because American Pharoah was a Triple Crown winner. Or, maybe like an Arrogant, when Arrogant was going good, there was no excuses. They ran their, they came with their A game and it was always good enough. They were the goods and you knew that. So I think Epicenter's got to take a little bit of a step forward before we can consider him, being the goods. I do think, right now, based on what he's done, he's probably the top, 3-year-old, I have to say, at least 3-year-old dirt router. And, winning the Travers would go a long way towards him being the, probably the top 3-year-old. And if he runs good enough, he could be mentioned amongst the best of the older horses too. Right now, I think the older horses pretty much have, everything cornered when it comes to the Breeders' Cup. I think they're a little bit better than the 3-year-olds right now, but certainly a couple good races from Epicenter between now and then could, turn the tide to that. And that's going to bring me to my second horse, and that's going to be Charge It. And I really like that Pletcher's kind of taking a little step back with Charge It. I thought they put him in the Kentucky Derby before maybe he was ready. I think he, went straight from a maiden to the Florida Derby, and he ran a good second, but you could also see some of the greenness of him. And then in the Kentucky Derby, he was just no match for that pace, that field size. He clearly wasn't ready. And then they kind of backed off of him, put him back in the Dwyer, against the field of horses that he could beat, being at 70% of, himself. And, he ended up destroying that field by 20-something lengths, which on paper, that's what it looked like, about what he should have done. And I like that Pletcher didn't kind of throw him into the Jim Dandy. I mean, I did kind of want to see him in there as a fan, to be honest, but when you think about what's best for the horse, I think to give him that time off, get him worked out, get him, where he's ready to fire his best effort at the Travers is probably what's better for the horses. You don't want to ruin his confidence and make him think that he can't, start beating some of these, the best of the best. So I think you're going to see Charger have a really good effort in the Travers, a lot better than what he fired in the Kentucky Derby. And, he's by Tappet, so he's bred to get the distance. And I know it's 2 wins a day that came going, 1-turn miles, but certainly this horse has a pedigree to handle, the 2-turn mile and a quarter. And, by Tappet should be able to handle a mile and a half. So I'm not worried about the distance with this horse. And that's going to bring into my third horse, and that's going to be Zandin. And I think Zandin can kind of be under the radar a little bit, as he's already lost to Epicenter, a couple of times, and also lost to Mo Donegal. He just seems like one that's maybe he's solid, but it's always just a slight cut below the rest. And he kind of proved that again in the Jim Dandy. But also if you want to look for a light at the end of the tunnel, the Jim Dandy was his first start since the Kentucky Derby, and I don't think Chad Brown had this horse 100% ready to win the Jim Dandy. I mean, I'm not saying he certainly wanted to lose the race, but I think his main goal was pointing to the Travers. So I think you're going to see a little step forward in the Zandin. And if he can take that step forward and maybe Epicenter or Charger run into some traffic trouble, or, Sovereign Knife doesn't run his A race or something, certainly Zandin could be there to pick up the pieces. And because a lot of those, lack of first place finishes, I think you're going to see, some of the money kind of shy away from him, maybe back towards early voting or Artorias. People, tend to gravitate towards some of the new shooters coming in, trying to, always find the wise guy for everything. And that's not always the best bet, in my opinion. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think Zandin's done nothing wrong, and you're gonna get him at a little bit of a price because of the field. And I kind of want to circle back to, Charge It, kind of his workout pattern. I meant to talk about it before I got to Zandin, but we'll cover it here. And he raced in the Dwyer on the, July 2nd. And, he's worked out. They gave him a little bit of time. He worked out again on the 30th and then on August 5th. And I'd expect one of the next works or two to be, his 5 furlongs and 59-second type breeze, or a minute, depending on how Saratoga surface is playing. But I think you're going to see a serious work, and I think you're going to see a, maintenance work. But, he should be plenty fit coming into the Travers, even though he's off for the, layoff, as he, had plenty of time to get, fit between the Dwyer and, between the training up to the Dwyer and then the Dwyer itself. He's had plenty of workouts. So I just wanted to cover that before, I finish the video. And, that's the 3 horses I like in this early preview of the Travers. Thanks for watching.